He erupted onto the football field like no one had done ever before or since. He's regarded as one of the all-time greats on and off the field and was also one of the nicest men you'd ever meet. Hello again, Rick Samprin here, getting you amped for another episode of the Fifth Quarter Show Legends. We have learned about some of the best Ticats players from yesteryear, and today's legend definitely fits the bill. Yet for some strange reason, he is one of a handful of former icons who, as of January 2025, has not been inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. I'm hoping that changes very soon. Now, before we learn more about the latest legend, I would like to take some time to thank everyone who has jumped on board to support the Fifth Quarter Show since I launched it last August. For decades, the legendary post-game show was heard on the radio after every Tiger Cats game, and that was sadly taken away from you. But it was a connection to the community that I just could not let die on the vine, and so nearly 5 months later, here we are. Thank you again. My hope is to make the Fifth Quarter Show better than ever in 2025. Okay, on with the show. The next Fifth Quarter Show legend is none other than longtime Ticats player and general manager Joe Zuger. Joseph Zuger was born in Homestead, Pennsylvania on February 25th, 1940. And as he grew up, Joe fell in love with the sport of football. But he did not attend a nearby college like Penn State, University of Pittsburgh, or Temple University. Zuger went to play football at Arizona State. From 1959 to 1961, Zuger led the Sun Devils to a 24-7 record as a quarterback. He also played defensive back and was the team's punter. In his senior season, Zuger threw for 879 yards and 8 touchdowns, made 10 interceptions, which remains the third highest total in ASU history, and had a 42.1-yard punting average. It's no wonder he was later inducted into the Arizona State University Hall of Fame. Zuger married his high school sweetheart Ellie, and in 1962, he was drafted by the NFL's Detroit Lions in the 18th round, 248th overall. But like many players that have been profiled on the Fifth Quarter Show Legends, Zuger went north to join the Hamilton Tiger Cats in 1962. The great Bernie Filoni was Hamilton's starting quarterback at that time, and for good reason. He had helped Hamilton win the Grey Cup in 1957. But Filoni suffered a season-ending injury during the 1962 campaign. And head coach Jim Trimble looked at his bench and had Canadian Frank Cosentino and the rookie Joe Zuger. Up to that point, the 22-year-old Zuger had primarily been used as a defensive back and punter. With the Ticats coming off their second bye week of the 62 season and having lost their last 3 games to fall to 5-4-1, Trimble decided to start Zuger against the visiting Saskatchewan Roughriders on Monday, October 15th. Kickoff was 8 p.m. at Hamilton Civic Stadium, and what happened that night is the stuff of legend. The 20,000 fans who packed into the stadium witnessed history. In his first start as quarterback of the Tiger Cats, Joe Zuger completed 23 of 32 passes and threw for a franchise record 572 yards and a CFL record 8 touchdown passes as Hamilton slammed Saskatchewan 67-21. The 8 TD tosses broke the previous record of 7 held by Toronto's Tobin Rote and Winnipeg's Jim Van Pelt. Zuger threw 3 touchdowns to Garney Henley that night and 3 more to Hal Patterson, along with 1 each to Dick Easterly and Tim Reed. Patterson caught 8 passes for 228 yards in that game. Henley hauled in 6 passes for 139 yards and scored on another TD pass when Cosentino entered the game with the results well in hand. Zuger and the Ticats went on to beat the Argos the following week and then topped Montreal the week after that and wrapped up the regular season on a 3-game winning streak after downing Ottawa. The Ticats beat Montreal in the 2-game East Final and went on to face the Blue Bombers in the 50th Grey Cup. The 1962 championship was like no other. The Saturday afternoon game was suspended with just over 9 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter because the heavy fog that it rolled into Toronto's exhibition stadium in the second quarter was only getting thicker. Winnipeg led 28-27 when the game was postponed, and when it restarted the next day, not another point was scored. And the Blue Bombers beat the Ticats in the Grey Cup for the second straight year. Filoni returned as the starting quarterback in 1963 and led Hamilton to a Grey Cup victory, while Zuger returned to defensive back and punter. After Hamilton traded Filoni to Montreal in 1965, Zuger and Cosentino split the quarterbacking duties and guided the Cats to another championship. Joe took over as the number one guy in 1967, and the Ticats went 10-4 and won the 55th Grey Cup by blasting the Rough Riders 24-1. Zuger was named the Grey Cup Most Outstanding Player and called that team the best he ever saw. When Zuger retired in 1971, he owned the CFL record with a 45.5-yard punting average. And a decade later, he was named the general manager of the Ticats, a position he held until 1992 and included a Grey Cup ring in 1986. Joe Zuger, who passed away on November 24th, 2024 at the age of 84, and very much deserving of induction into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, is a true legend. Thanks for watching the Fifth Quarter Show Legends. Hit subscribe, click like, tell your friends to do the same. The next legend is going to be unveiled next week after the next episode of the Fifth Quarter Show Seasons, which drops every Tuesday. Until then, Oski Wee Wee.